मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल, मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल। हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल। दुनिया क्या है एक तमाशा, 4 दिनों की झूठी आशा। दुनिया क्या है एक तमाशा, 4 दिनों की झूठी आशा। ज्ञान तराजू हाथ में लेकर, ज्ञान तराजू हाथ में लेकर, तोल सके खोटोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल। मतलब की सब दुनियादारी, मतलब की है सब संसारी। ओ मतलब की सब दुनियादारी, मतलब की है सब संसारी। जग में तेरा वो हितकारी, तन मन का सब झोले का अगर, नाम प्रभु का बोले बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल। A beautiful bhajan. Open up your inner mind, that divine eye, the eye of Lord Shiva, and then you will be expanding your horizon. Your mind would have transcend limitation. Your consciousness would expand in every direction, and you will find yourself to be a far better person than you ever dreamed yourself to be. The bhajan is saying we come into this world, 4 dinons, 4 days, which is just saying few days, couple of years, whatever, and we have to weigh what is weighed in our hands on the scale, what good we have done, how have we been, how have we progressed. Swami Parameshananda would have said, what is religion? Self-sacrifice, self-obligation, self-discipline, adherence to truth and countenance. And then he said, what is goal of life? Self-realization, universal emancipation. Are we on that path? Well, this life false jhuti asha, false hopes. We have hopes of this and that, but really we have to make a deliberate attempt to being in an institution and be under the leadership of Swami Parameshananda, BHARAT, SEVASHRAM, is an ideal for our going to our moksha. So beautiful, isn't it, that we are having this? And whatever religion you are, think that that's the best. That you worship in whatever religion. Buddha, Siddhartha, was born in a Hindu home, but because he was an incarnation of Vishnu Bhagwan, after he had the pleasure of a palace, getting married, having a child, Rahul, he saw the nothingness of this world when he saw the sadhu, and compared to when he saw the sick and the old and the one that died when he went outside and he went and did austerities. These are all examples for us to how we should live our lives, because we can't be like haphazardly. If we live our lives haphazardly, it's not good. That when we are in distress and when the false hopes are not coming true, then we should be chanting the name Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Call the name of the Lord. It will take you from those lower thoughts, the thoughts of manifestation, the lower nature of God. Here we're looking at this temple. Welcome again. And this is our playground. This is a laboratory where we have to experiment, and when we have to find out and realize that this is temporary. The mandir is made up of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. We usually, when we go into the mandir, we have these 5 elements personalized. And then what we do, we worship them in the personalized way. But here we worship direct. And then what we want to do, the ceilings, there's no ceilings. So we can go straight to the higher regions and rediscover that we are, what we worship, we are already that. We are consciousness, manifestation of consciousness. In our bodies, we have the lower nature and the higher nature, the 5 elements, the material cause, and also we have the efficient cause, which is consciousness. So we are already liberated, but we have these obstacles. Our body, mind, intellect, and ego is blocking us. So let's remove them, devotees. Let us not be a victim of this false hopes. Well, this morning, let us pay adoration to Guruji. Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti, Puja Moolam Guru Param, Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. How beautiful it is that we in this beautiful mandir. The wind is blowing so refreshing. And look at the water, how the sun will be reflecting in the water. Give a mirror, an image of happiness and exhilaration and good feeling. Because when we come outside and we be one with creation, oh, that's a good feeling. So this morning, let us look how the water, the sun is reflecting. It's coming up. And here it is, how I like the scenery, isn't it beautiful? When the water is there and little ripples, and then to see the trees and reflecting in the water. How beautiful it is. Well, this morning I just want to go through a nice pilgrimage that I had. I think I spoke about it already, but when I speak about it again and again, it is for me. I enjoy it so much. One time we were in the Chennai, after collection, we opened up a temple and in Rameshwaram. And after that, it would so happen, sadly, that there was an auto accident and 3 of our Swamijis would have died. And then Swami Buddhanand said to me, you're going to have to go on a pilgrimage. You've been doing a lot of work, collection and doing relief work, and now I want you to go to the Himalayas. So Swamiji, you know, I never traveled the train by myself. You're asking me to go from Chennai to Delhi, from Delhi to Hardwar, and then going into the Himalayas. He says, yes. Sadhus have to go, and they have to challenge themselves. There should be no fear. We shall go. This pilgrimage will really invigorate you and lift your spiritual life. Okay, Swamiji. But before that, let us do worships to Surya Narayan, okay? Because we need his help. Om Bhara Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhara Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Anyway, I continued on that journey, and long time in the train by myself, not afraid, reached Delhi 12 hours late because of delay in the train, because there was a lot of flooding and rocks coming down and blocking the trucks. We had to reroute. Anyway, I reached Delhi ashram late in the night. Swamiji's picked me up at the airport, at the train station, came, slept a few hours, got on the bus again at 5 in the morning, and heading for the Himalayas and going through and traveling like a long way. I so happened I passed my stop because I wanted to go to Kedarnath by way of Gauri Kund. But the bus didn't stop, and I didn't know that. And I ended up late in 8 in the night in Joshimath, and there I was getting checked into the Sankaracharya ashram in Joshimath. Then I heard the song, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho. And the Swamiji in the Shankaracharya says, why you Bharat SEVASHRAM saying you have an ashram here just starting, a little shed, zinc shed, go there, go there. And I went, and in time for the arti, I did the arti, spent the night there, and Brahmachari and me went up to the Himalayas. There was a big mudslide, and as we were going through the Himalayas, we had to take off or come off the one vehicle and run across this 200 yards of mud on the road, and then join another vehicle and went to Badrinath. Spent the night there. What a beautiful place. Our Swamiji is there, Atma Shuddhananda. He was talking to him, and I spent the day there. And the next day I started my journey downwards by myself, and then coming through. And then while I was in the bus coming down, the bus is going around and around in the hills, because that's how it travels. The song was singing, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya, Vishveshwarai Shiva, Vishveshwarai, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Imagine on the bus, and this song is playing, my eyes were wide open, looking at the sceneries in the valleys and up in the mountains, and the bus keep coming. And then I stopped in at Gauri Kund, spend the night there at ashram, take a bath in the sulfur spring, nice and warm, because it was cold then, and went and visit Kedarnath ashram. Rode on a pony for like two and a half hours, and raining and going up the mountains to Kedarnath. Oh, are you with me in this beautiful pilgrimage? And then we spend the night there, pay obeisance to the Kedarnath Jyotirling, and then the next morning coming down and going towards coming down into the Himalayas. And then I start at Rudraprayag. This is where the Mandakini River and the Alaknanda River join up. And guess what happened? The Mandakini loses her name and form. She no longer exists because she would have merged with the Alaknanda. And then they came down, Alaknanda came down, and then it merged with another river, Bhagirat. And Bhagirat River is coming from Gomukh. This is the saint that did the austerities for the king, 60,000 of sons of King Sagar, who was killed by Kapil Muni when they wrongfully accused him of stealing a horse. And Kapil Muni, they disturbed his meditation, and the 60 sons were killed. And so now this is the same saint, Bhagirat, and the name of the river coming from Gomukh, when Mother Ganga came down and into the jata of Lord Shiva. This is the origin of Mother Ganga. And then the two rivers, they merge up of Dev and Prayag. And what happened? Both of these rivers lose their name and their form. And what they became? Mother Ganga, Ganges. And this here, it's a very big, nice lesson. And I'll do a prayer to explain what happens here. Om. गंगा में नहीं जमुना में नहीं महलों में नहीं, कुटियों में नहीं, जहाँ याद करो भगवान वही, जहाँ याद करो भगवान वही। पाताल गगन जल में थल में मुस्कुराता हुआ निकले पल में, मंदिर में नहीं तीर्थों में नहीं, मंदिर में नहीं तीर्थों में नहीं, गीता में नहीं वेरों में नहीं, जहाँ याद करो भगवान वही, जहाँ याद करो भगवान वही. Now at Devan Prayag, when these two rivers meet up, both of them lose their name or form, like I said, and became the Ganges. Devotees, this is the purpose of our lives. That when we go to a place like Devan Prayag, premier place of pilgrimage, we have to also lose our name and form. In other words, we give up our body, mind, intellect, and abhiman, because all of this have to be given up. They are the obstacles for us to come into that place of God realization. So we give it up. And but we have to always think like that. The bhajan is saying, God is not in these is not in the Ganga, is not in place of pilgrimage. It's not in the temple or in the Gita, but wherever you think of God. This morning, let us think about God here. We're looking at Him in His manifestation, the 5 elements in this beautiful mandir. Let us give up our name or our form. Let us cope with life in this manner. Let's go and be a conscious onlooker, meaning that we would look from the outside into all of creation and look and see and get out of this illusion of creation. And if we do that, we'll be liberated souls. Isn't that what we want to do? Let us not waste time. Let us not take trivial happiness, pleasures of the body. Let us transcend this and go to that place. Let us do adorations to Lord Shiva. Here is in this lingam. We ask you, Lord Shiva, give us that your blessings. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namah. 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 And isn't this temple so beautiful? I hope I've inspired this morning. And think what you've heard and put it to use. Don't let it just think, oh, it's nice, Swamiji did nice. No. When Swamiji's talk, we want you to transform yourself. Don't be that ordinary person. Become real, rediscover that we are gods and goddesses. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om.